com. We start our 2024 portion of our interview schedules here on Indiana in the Morning with Rob Heinrich, Indiana Area School District Superintendent, who joins us. Our conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. You have a whole bunch of schools full of a whole bunch of really excited kids to be back, huh?
Yeah, come back. They're coming back tomorrow after the nice long break. I hope everyone's recharged and revitalized and ready to start the new year right.
Oh, yeah. Well, there are a lot of things that happen when you get to the January portion in terms of a school district. And as a superintendent, of course, you're looking at the kids in the schools and the way the schools are operating, but you're also keeping an eye on the business of the school district. And that means that you've got budget going on right now, and the school board is hard at work on that. And this year, there's a bit of a budget deficit that you have to overcome, too.
Absolutely. One of the things about district leadership is you always have to be looking at the future. And now we have the new school board, officially starting their work in earnest. And they have some issues on their plate, the budget deficit this year being one of them. And we put some things in place to address that budget deficit and hopefully take some big chunks out of that. But next year's budget deficit is looming large. Mm-hmm. So we have a lot of work to do as far as fighting for funding and making sure that we do everything we can to make Indiana Area School District as efficient and effective and as possible while keep making it also affordable for our taxpayers.
That has to be one of the most challenging aspects of your job because you don't know what's coming from the state, and taxes, local taxes are they're unpredictable as well. But you can take a look into the future and you can predict some pretty hefty expenses that are coming up.
100%. I mean, the cost of everything is going up, and I think everybody feels it in their pocketbook. Looking at what groceries cost and. So trying to alleviate the burden from the taxpayers is one of the most important functions of a school board and a school district. But our costs are going up too, and we have to look at the future and figure out how we can make ends meet. And I think we have the right people on the school board to make that happen. So I'm excited about that. And the state stepped up. They did a lot of great things at the end of December, an additional $175 million in new funding to some school districts. They're trying to address the teacher shortage by incentivizing student teachers and paying some student teachers a stipend so they can do that work without going poor. Mm-hmm. So trying to make the career a little bit more enticing, I guess. So they're doing little things, but they still haven't done anything to address, $1.7 million leaving the Indiana School District to go to cyber charter schools or anything like that. So the cyber charter reform still stays out there. So there's still a lot of things that we have to fix here at a state level.
Yeah. And even the foundational aspect of how schools are funded in Pennsylvania, that's been struck down by courts. So all of that is a part of it. We're going to have a conversation later this morning with an oil industry expert talking about how OPEC is trying to drive gas prices or oil barrel prices over $100 a barrel. That increases the cost for school districts to gas up the buses and all of that. My goodness, what a formula that has to be.
It is. It's a challenge for sure. I mean, everything. The cost of gas makes everything cost more. So it's all interconnected, and we just have to be aware of that and make sure we put the best plan in place for the future.
Yeah. So school board has that challenge ahead of them, but there are other things that they're looking at as well, and one of them is the foundation itself.
Absolutely, we're going to try to revitalize our foundation. We've had a lot of conversations about this the last few couple months here. We have a foundation in effect through the Community Foundation for the Alleghenies. Mm-hmm. However, it's just kind of laid dormant. We use it mainly to pay for dual enrollment credits. So students that want to take credits at IUP, we can help pay their credit, their tuition credit there. But that's really all we're using it for. And we think that we can make that a very energized and revitalized foundation that can maybe become a source to alleviate some of those financial problems we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Sure, you got to go down every hole.
Yeah, we're going to have, exactly. We're going to have them come out and present to the school board here in January, talk about some ideas of, how we can revitalize this foundation and really get it moving here.
One of the things that the school district is looking forward to, I know very much, is the renewed Ike, finally getting that thing underway and finished to get students back in it and turn it into a real asset for Indiana Area School District.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been too long since Ike's been up and running, and we're excited to see the progress that we're making there. I was over there right before the break, and it's incredible how much progress has been made already inside that building. I think we're on the right track, and hopefully that'll be done on schedule.
Yeah, the Ike is a really exciting project, and unfortunately, it was necessitated by the fire. But in the end, we hope to make it into a better facility.
That's it. We're trying to make lemonade out of those lemons that we were dealt, and I think we have a good plan. I think it's going to make that building viable, make it versatile, and give us some options for the future here.
Yeah. Tell me about the multi-tiered support system at Indiana Area.
So now we're talking to academic growth. We've done laid the foundation at the elementary schools with the reading program, with a shift in literacy, the way we teach reading. We've seen 30% growth in the number of third graders who read at or above level over the last 5 years, which is exciting. That means that what we've done is working. Now that should show some rewards and some benefits down the line here to the upper grades. But we still need to build the system at the junior high and the senior high that supports students, so students don't fall through the cracks. Every student's different. Every student faces challenges, and we need to make sure that we build a system that has multi-levels of support for each and every kid, from the future valedictorian to that student who's struggling to get to school every day. And that's our passion. That's what we do, and that's another challenge that this school board is going to face, is continuing that work and making sure that that's a priority as we move forward.
I'm sure moms and dads are happy to hear something like that, because they can see when their child is struggling at school. But when that kid's at school and they're at home or at work, they're not there to work with them directly. So when they see the kids coming home and they're excited about reading, or they're doing their homework in math and it's making sense to them, then they know that they're getting the support that they need. And if a child is struggling, they can see that as well.
Correct. I mean, people, you got to think about this. The families give us their most precious thing on earth, which is their children, and they trust us to do everything we can to make them successful. And we take that responsibility very seriously. And if from teaching them how to read, to teaching them how to be resilient, teaching them how to overcome challenges, how to solve problems, how to think creatively, how to communicate, all of those things are on our plate, and we strive to be successful, and their success is our success. So it is a community function. It's public school is very, very important, and we're proud to be part of this community.
Rob Heinrich is our guest superintendent at the Indiana Area School District. So coming up in the month of January, you've got a couple of things. Going to be a primary presenter at the Indiana County Voices for Equity. Yeah,
I'm excited about that. I was asked by Michelle Jordan, who kind of spearheads the Indiana Voices for Equity, to talk a little bit about Reverend Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy. His birthday's coming up here this month. We celebrate that, and with that in mind, what does that mean? What does his legacy mean to our children in all of our school districts? And so I've been working on a little presentation for that. I'm excited to get the opportunity this Thursday to present to a lot of members of our community leaders who are out here fighting for kids and fighting for our community, just to talk a little bit about how far we've come and still how far we have to go. Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. And a countywide in-service coming up in January. Does that happen? I mean,
it does in Indiana County. That's
is it a long-standing thing, or is it something new?
It's been here for about 3 years now. And I'm excited. Indiana has hosted it, being the largest school district in Indiana County. We have the facilities and the manpower to get this done, but the superintendents in this county work so well together in conjunction with the Aaron IU 28. We really have a great partnership. We pool our resources. We try to be fiscally responsible. We try to bring speakers in from all across the state to talk to all of our teachers and all of our administrators at the same time. Try to make it more affordable and effective so that our teachers can get the very best possible professional development at the lowest price possible. So it's been a great partnership, and I'm excited to have been able to work with Susan Griffith from the IU and all the other county superintendents to kind of put this together. And on January 15th at our junior high, we'll we'll have quite a menu of speakers and presentations and workshops for our teachers.
So 3 years, does that mean that when it first started, it was virtual?
No, it was right. Yeah, I guess it was right after that.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say this is going to be the third one that we've had. So it must have been right after we came back from COVID and we started doing it.
I would bet that would be a pretty neat atmosphere to have all of those educators all together in one room.
Oh, it's such a great opportunity for collaboration. So often teaching is an isolating profession. You know, you're in close your doors and it's your little world, and you don't talk to adults a whole lot. So it's a nice opportunity to get people who are like-minded, have the same kind of challenges they're trying to overcome, to get them in the same room, relax, just have some conversations about how they can do a better job for kids, and then couple that with some great speakers. We have Jimmy Cassis coming. He's a nationally recognized author and speaker, and Greg Bear, who wrote the book When You Wonder, You Learn, about Mr. Rogers. So he's going to be speaking as well. So we're going to have some world-class speakers with some, collegial conversations over some coffee, hopefully.
Wow.
So should be nice. We're excited.
Wrote about Mr. Rogers. I got to get him on Indiana in the morning. That would be great.
Absolutely.
I always
know when he comes in.
I said my three great heroes are Winnie the Pooh, Mr. Rogers, and Charlie Brown.
That's a very nice group of heroes.
The three greatest philosophers of the last 50 years right there.
For sure. Absolutely.
Rob Heinrich, Indiana Area School District with us. An interesting program with Martin's Supermarket, too.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. So this month, over the next 3 months, from now until the middle of March, anytime you shop at Martin's Grocery here in Indiana, and they ask you at the end, would you like to round up your bill to the nearest dollar for charity? All that money for the next 3 months comes to Indiana Area School District to help us fight childhood hunger. So it comes in, it goes into our food programs, and it helps us provide food for students over weekends who might have food insecurity, or address students to help students that can't pay for lunch. So it's a great program. We're really excited and happy to have Giant Company help us out in that capacity.
Yeah. Good things at Indiana Area School District. Rob Heinrich, thanks for the visit this morning.
Absolutely. Happy New Year.
You too. It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. 24 minutes after 8 o'clock, and it is a Tuesday morning, Tuesday, January the 2nd. We're supposed to get this